Well, good morning, Nigeria. We are excited to be back.
Yes, indeed.
On a Monday morning on Wake Up Nigeria.
Last week, we celebrated 200 episodes.
Indeed.
On
And now
Friday, yeah.
we are in 201,
Yes.
and you're still with us.
Amazing.
We are so
Amazing.
excited. Thank you so much for joining us every single morning.
All
and
right.
In the kitchen
Yeah.
this morning,
Yeah, we have
Chef D is back.
Chef D in
After
the
a
building.
2-month hiatus. How you doing, Chef D?
I'm doing fine. Good morning, everybody.
So, finally,
Complete with a chicken on set and a walk. I
indeed.
think that walk is epic, man. I think we
So
have
it's
to
gonna
talk
be-
about where you got
yeah,
that walk,
it-
man.
It's gonna be. I don't know what a walk means. So.
It's a special type of pan. It's not a
Oh,
pot.
right,
It's
right.
not a frying pan. It's a wok. But it's
Sounds
Asian.
like an animal.
It's Asian, though.
Right, so great things happening. We're going to be doing social media, but before that, over the weekend, everyone's talking about the fact that President Buhari is going to be meeting President Trump.
He's already
on the
arrived.
invitation
Yeah.
of the U.S. president.
Of the US president.
So,
That's his point.
When the U.S. president invites you for a meeting, it's always, I don't know, it doesn't feel like an invitation to have tea. It feels like he wants something from you.
yeah, exactly.
And it's a two-sided coin.
It is.
You know,
It
because
is.
we have a lot to
It is.
offer as a
It
nation.
is. As
We
a
do.
nation,
we definitely
And people
do.
don't think of it like that, but we actually do.
And
Like,
we're actually one of the biggest military spenders
Yeah.
in Africa.
Where the
obviously,
Wakanda
If
now?
you're going to be sending, if you're going to be selling us jets and helicopters,
All of that.
and
Exactly,
you need
exactly.
our
So
Yeah.
let's but
Yeah.
then he's on record to be the first African president to meet with Trump, or for Trump has been
invite,
invited
yeah.
to the White
To be
House. So
invited, yeah.
let's hope that something cool comes out from this.
Yeah.
But then also over the weekend, Joe Cole
Oh, yeah.
was trending, and I don't know if you guys saw this. Now, during his performance, now this is quite surprising. I'm not really a Joe Cole person and all that, and I don't really know him. But then he's performing his old songs, and then people sing along, and the guy's like shocked, like he's visibly shocked. If you see the video. And then, you know, the crowd is going, and then he released an album, KOD, just a week prior to his visit to Nigeria. And then the crowd goes, yeah. And the guy starts singing songs from KOD, and then the crowd also flows along.
Yeah.
And the guy's like,
Surprised.
he is shocked. He goes online to comment about it. And then Americans start commenting like, wow, they start dissing Nigerians. I'm talking about black Americans.
wow.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Crazy disses, man. They are, as in dissing us, like, is there electricity there? Do they, what, really? Like,
here we
serious
go.
dissing, man.
Here we go.
So
We
Nigerians
don't-
start
we don't-
firing back. We'll talk about that in the second half.
Check out some of those tweets.
I want to check them out as well. But
Let's
yeah.
take the news then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Many thanks, guys. More than 14 miners have been killed and 30 others injured over the weekend by bandits operating in the Birnin-Gwari area of Kaduna State. The attackers reportedly stormed the mining settlement in their hundreds on motorbikes. Reports say security operatives have now been posted to the area to prevent further attacks. Birnin-Gwari lies a few kilometers from Kaduna City and is a gateway to southwestern Nigeria. And there was an explosion at the Enugu home of John Wodo, the President General of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, but no one was hurt. Police say a low-level device was thrown into his compound, which shattered window panes and a part of the roof of the house. Investigation has started to find out who threw that device. And President Muhammadu Buhari has arrived in Washington, D.C. ahead of his 4-day work visit to the United States. The presidency's Twitter handle at NGR President confirmed the arrival of the president in Washington on Sunday. President Muhammadu Buhari will meet with President Donald Trump at the White House on Monday for bilateral talks aimed at enhancing the strategic partnership between both countries. Nigerians have been charged to intensify their prayers as the problems bedeviling the country are spiritual, not political or leadership-based. Clergy and members of the Christ Apostolic Church gathered for a special program to pray for Nigeria at the Ikoyi Prayer Mountain in Osun State. They believe Nigeria will win the battle of self-imposed bondage from the spiritual realm. And in Jos Plateau State capital, Christians also hit the streets in a peaceful protest to express their dissatisfaction over the recent killings and other related happenings in some parts of the country. The senior pastor, Ekwa Good News Church, Joshua Tuan, condemned the attacks on communities by armed headers and Boko Haram terrorists, saying Christians in the country, mostly from the northern part, are the main victims of the attackers. That's the news for this hour. Back to TT and Yomi and, of course, Mike.
So,
Yeah.
apart from the J. Coles and the president meeting President Trump, we also have sports update.
Yeah,
Lots of
course.
things happen over the weekend.
Lots of stuff, of course. Barcelona winning the title.
Finally.
Arsene Wenger, yeah, Arsene Wenger having a send forth and all of that.
Yeah.
But then we're going to start with a story from African Nigerian referees.
Yeah.
Interesting. Right, good morning. I'm Mike Mexicano, and this is Sports on Wake Up Nigeria. Now, the Confederation of African Football have banned Nigerian referee Joseph Ogbabo for a year after he asked a South African counterpart, Victor Gomez, to provide technical assistance to Nigerian club Plateau United in a CAF Confederation Cup playoff against USM Algiers of Algeria. CAF announced that the CAF Referees Committee have confirmed the recommendation of a CAF disciplinary board for Ogbabo to be sanctioned for contacting South African referees led by Gomez to manipulate a Confederation Cup clash on April 7 in Lagos. CAF have also cautioned Plateau United to stop the practice of hospitality gifts as it creates wrong impressions. The Continental Ruling Body have also ordered the South African Football Federation to apologize to the Nigerian Football Federation after investigations proved there was no evidence of an official offering the referees a $30,000 bribe. USMA beat Plateau United 5-1 aggregate to qualify for the group stage of this year's Confederation Cup. That's all on sports this morning. It's the headlines in the papers. Yomi and Titi have you covered on that one.
All right. Thanks so much, Mike. Now, this morning, we are starting with the Punch and the headline, Pope decries attack on Nigerian church as Christians protest killings. Obasanjo coalition slams Buhari for campaigning despite killings. PDP, Aquarium Madu lament as explosion rocks Ohaneze president's house. Killings, Nigeria experiencing ethnic cleansing, says Soyinka. Federal government borrows 5.5 trillion naira for pension savings, delays minimum payment. Melaye recall bid fails as INEC releases verification results. Boko Haram faction seizes Borno, Yobe towns, taxes residents, says a report. Another $202 million belonging to NIA missing, says Rep panel. A gunman kidnap Ekiti PDP chief, demand 30 million naira ransom. And finally, presidency upbeat as Buhari meets Trump today. All on the cover of the Punch.
That should be an interesting meeting.
Yeah.
On the cover of the Vanguard, it says, Ohaneze President Nwodo's house bombed. I won't be deterred from leading my people, says Nwodo. Bomb blast, federal government's plan to incriminate us, says IPOP. Police order tight security, vow to fish out perpetrators. It also says here, stop these killings. Oba of Benin, Soyinka charge Buhari governors. Oni harps on Yoruba unity. On Dino Melaye, he survives recall from Senate, says forces of evil will never triumph. Bandits kill 14 miners, injure 30 in Kaduna, 8 feared dead, scores injured in fresh herdsmen attack in Benue. Then finally, O&O records 19.8 billion naira profit after tax. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
All right, up next is the Daily Sun and the headline, as Christians protest killings, Khan tells Buhari to forget 2019. Pope deeply worried as Christian body criticizes government. Outrage as home of Nwodo, Ohaneze boss, says a report. Another $202 million belonging to NIA missing, says Rep panel. A gunman kidnap Ekiti PDP chief, demand 30 million naira ransom. And finally, presidency upbeat as Buhari meets Trump today. All on the cover of the Punch.
That should be an interesting meeting.
Yeah.
On the cover of the Vanguard, it says, Ohaneze President Nwodo's house bombed. I won't be deterred from leading my people, says Nwodo. Bomb blast, federal government's plan to incriminate us, says IPOP. Police order tight security, vow to fish out perpetrators. It also says here, stop these killings. Oba of Benin, Soyinka charge Buhari governors. Oni harps on Yoruba unity. On Dino Melaye, he survives recall from Senate, says forces of evil will never triumph. Bandits kill 14 miners, injure 30 in Kaduna, 8 feared dead, scores injured in fresh herdsmen attack in Benue. Then finally, O&O records 19.8 billion naira profit after tax. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
All right, up next is the Daily Sun and the headline, As Christians Protest Killings, Khan tells Buhari to forget 2019. Pope deeply worried as Christian body criticizes government. Outrage as home of Nwodo, Ohaneze boss, is bombed. And then a couple of other stories here. Power tussle tears Code of Conduct Bureau apart. Terrorism, Obama failed us, says presidency. Makalu condemns Abia Cross River communal clash. Campaigns for Buhari in China. And finally, Bauchi, Ekiti, Imo, 14 others broke, says report. All on the cover of the Daily Sun.
On the cover of the Nation newspaper, it says, killings, protests, prayers in Lagos, Benue, Ibadan. Anger in Akure, march on Ekiti Government House. Pope prays for harmony, peace. Air Force kills Boko Haram terrorists in Borno. Gunmen kill 2 in Makurdi. It also says here, CBN to sack CEOs, chairmen of banks with delayed accounts. Reps threaten to arrest panel members. Lagos attracts $43 billion investments. Net profit hits 19.7 billion as O&O defies odds. Then finally, abductors demand 30 million naira for Ekiti PDP chief. That's what we have on the cover of the Nation.
All right, coming up is this day and the headline, 901 killed in Middle Belt since January, including 19 in Kaduna, Benue weekend attacks. Soyinka president should order usurpers to quit forcefully occupied lands in 48 hours. Pope decries attack on church. Report shows Boko Haram splinter groups continues to occupy territories in Borno and Yobe. A bid to recall Melaye fails, Senator thanks constituents. Presidency, Trump more beneficial to Nigeria than Obama. Funny they should say that now. National Assembly cannot command Buhari's appearance, says Nwaboeze. And finally, CBN to fire bank chairman, CEOs over failure to publish accounts within 12 months. All on the cover of this day.
That's all we have time for on the newspaper headlines for now. And I heard we have someone new in the garden today.
A new dude in the garden. Let's head on over to the garden for aerobics.
Good morning, my name is Michael and I'm going to take you on fitness today. So today we are going to be doing a high intensity interval training session. Going to last just 4 minutes. So I have 4 exercises for you today. Burpees, mountain climbers, high knees and jumping jacks. We shall do each one for 20 seconds and resting for 10 seconds, then go to the next exercise. So let us dive right into it. So we're going to start with burpees. Go! So squat down, do a push up, stand up and jump. If you can't do the push up, you just skip it. Now rest for 10 seconds. Get ready for the next exercise, which is mountain climbers. So, go! Make sure to tuck your hips down. Don't bounce your hips up and down. Keep your core tight. Another 10 seconds rest. We are going to high knees next. Oof. So, make sure you jump and get your knees high. Another 10 seconds. We are switching to jumping jacks next. This is the easiest one from all of them. Go! We're going to repeat the 4 exercises again for another 2 minutes. 3, 2, 1. So both is again for the beginning. The push-ups are too hard for you. You may just skip it. We're switching to mountain climbers.
Go!
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Rest.
Okay, alright, see. That's all for today. So we are switching back. Over to Nkechi.
All right, thank you very much, Michael. Now that was some very brisk total body workout. I'm in the kitchen. Woohoo! And I've got Chef D with me in the house. How you doing, Chef?
I'm doing very
Man,
fine.
you've already started the work, right?
No time.
Okay, so let's check out what are we cooking this morning.
We having chicken stuffed pancake.
Chicken stuffed
pancake.
pancake.
Yeah.
Pancake like the very flat
A
one,
very flat one,
but chicken will be inside it.
and make it big.
I'm excited. Okay, so what are the ingredients that we are going to use for this particular chicken stuffed pancake?
Yeah. For our flour, I mean for the pancake, we have flour,
Okay.
sugar, salt, egg, and milk. That's what we have right now here.
Okay, that's what you're mixing here
Yeah,
now.
this is what I'm mixing
All right,
here
this
right
is
now.
for the pancake.
Yeah, this
and
is
then
for
what?
the pancake.
Man, this looks like Infinity Stone. So there's some Avengers Infinity War happening here. The way it's just
yeah,
one,
beginning to
two,
watch
three,
too
four,
much
five,
movies.
and it's actually 6. Wow, 6. Okay, so what else? What else here? What do we
Okay.
have here?
For the chicken, we have chicken here. Then we
What
have
part of chicken is this?
we have the breast here.
Oh,
All right, we have chicken breast.
I love that part.
You love?
No,
Is
this
it-
chicken. I'm talking of chicken, Chef G. Chicken. What's doing you?
Okay. So yeah, we have ginger, garlic, onions. We have black pepper,
Infinity Stones ahead.
infinity stones. This
All
is
right.
cinnamon,
Okay.
paprika, seasoning, and we have lemon seasoning. That's
Wow.
to replace lemon. If you don't have lemon,
How do I
yeah.
feel like Thanos now? All right, this is onions. I know this one. This is onions.
You know this
This
one.
is egg. We have egg here. This is
Salt.
salt and sugar. There's sugar here.
Sugar is out of it.
There's small sugar now.
Okay.
Okay, all right, cool. So we're mixing, what's this called now? This is the pancake
This is the
mix,
pancake
right?
mix, yeah.
Okay, so what are you using to mix it? What's that thing called?
Whisker.
Whisker, whisker.
Yeah, whisk.
Whisk.
Yeah. You can see.
Okay,
So
so
will you
yeah.
use your hand for me? Just
No,
hold it.
I'm okay. I can help you whisk. So,
Don't whisk it out.
He's not doing the way you are doing it. Why is he doing like this? This is hard though. I need to do all this thing. Okay, but then, okay, so you are whisking this up. Now,
Yeah.
why do you have to ensure that it is whisked well?
Yeah, you know, we have to give it some time to make sure that it doesn't come up with any lumps. This is what you can see. But we're still
Okay.
going to add some water to make it a little bit flat because we don't want a very thick pancake. We want something very light.
Very light.
Yeah, so we're going to be able to wrap in our chicken.
Okay, so but if you mix without whisking, what happens?
I really don't know what should happen, but this is the best way to mix. You can mix with this or you mix with the machine whisk.
I go with you.
or
You are
something like
the
that.
expert in these matters, right? So yeah, so we're whisking.
But just
now.
for you to get a good result, just for you to
Okay.
get a good
You
whisk
make sure
and a
you
good
whisk it.
blend. Yeah,
All
you
right.
need to get a good blend. So from here right now, you can taste it,
Right.
just for you to know what exactly is going into the pan.
You can taste it. Eh?
Yeah, taste it, let me see.
Are you serious?
Yeah, when you
Do I,
taste it.
do I
feel
need
it.
just my finger like this? Eh?
Yeah, just a finger.
Ah.
It's already sweet. You can take part of it. Can I get you a spoon?
Wow, wait now. Let the thing finish now. If I start eating this one now, what if I get full eating this one now? Let's wait for the thing to finish. Okay, but then what are you tasting for? What taste are you trying to
We're
get?
just trying to get a complete good taste of the pancake. What did you
Okay.
get when you tasted it?
I don't know. Titi, this is why I need you. What is this in my mouth? Okay, but it tastes smooth. It's smooth.
Smooth.
It's smooth. It's smooth. Yeah, I just know it's smooth. I know it's smooth. It tastes smooth, like something that will make sense when it's finally done.
Yeah, of course it will. So we're going to add in a little bit of water for the sake of people that are watching. Yeah, because we don't want our pancakes to be so thick.
Okay.
Yeah, so we add a little bit of water to make it.
That's not little though. That's plenty. That's like half a glass, right?
Yeah, half a glass, just to
Okay.
make it
Wow.
yeah. Then you whisk gradually.
Okay, gradually. All right. Now it's becoming finer and all of that. Okay,
Yeah.
this is quite cool.
Yeah, this is what we need. We need it on this texture. You can see it's easier like this.
Wow. Now it does. You know, it looks more refined this way.
Of course.
It looks more refined this way. Okay, and then while our stuff is getting hot there, are we using oil or something?
No, we're using butter.
Butter.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. That's cool. Where do we? Oh, okay.
And we're using this.
What's this? What kind of spoon is this?
This a deep pan spoon.
Deep pan spoon. Oh, deep pan spoon. Okay, cool. All right. So butter. But why? Don't you use oil for pancakes? They don't use oil. Or if you want to use oil.
You can use oil
Okay.
if you cannot get butter.
Okay.
But butter is better. This is all we need.
This butter. This is normal. Is this normal butter you use to eat with agege bread or something? Is
Yeah.
it that same normal type of butter.
Yeah, normal butter.
Okay. And it looks small, like it's like you didn't put so much.
I don't need so much.
So, because normally when I want to fry, like I rarely do, but then when I want to fry, I find out that I put quite a lot of oil and all of that. But it's like from what I have seen from chefs here, you don't need to put so much when you want to fry and all of that.
Because that's because we are chefs. We have the understanding that you don't have. So you should watch and listen.
Are we gonna learn?
Go and
Come
learn.
back for Chef D.
Come back stronger.
That's when you know. Okay, so let's see how it goes into the wok.
Yeah, this is
I
how
know
it
the name
goes.
now. The wok.
Yeah, the work.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So wait, so it's one pancake per time, eh?
Yeah, one pancake per time.
Okay. All right.
So we're gonna give you some time.
Hmm.
Then it's gonna come up now
Wow.
as pancake.
Wow. So this is all, eh?
That's all. For
It's easy like this. And then I used to tell some people I don't know how to do pancake. I can't do pancake now.
You can do pancake.
Home delivery. Talk to me. I tell I'm done with the Chef D trained pancake maker. I tell I'm done with this thing today.
The new pancake maker in town.
Hey, I tell I'm done with this thing today. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to wait to give you some time so
Okay.
we get it cooked.
It's time for a bit of business. Now, every entrepreneur knows that doing business requires money for the sake of sustaining the business. Now, Sharif Badamasi is here to enlighten us about creating multiple sources of cash flow for our business. And this is really, really important, especially for small businesses like we always talk about, because on the show, you know, the focus is on, you know, growing businesses and small businesses as well. So first, let's talk about multiple sources of cash flow. Like, there's lots of people who would never have heard this kind of a thing before. So I'm doing one particular kind of business, and I'm expecting that that's where all my cash is coming from. So, but enlighten us a little bit about this.
Well, it's always dangerous, especially with the kind of economy that we have here in Nigeria. Cash is key, and it's very, very necessary. So you find a lot of people getting involved in their business and thinking, this is it. This is exactly what I'm doing. And whatever money comes from here, I'll try and make as much sales as I can so that we can, you know, make all the money that we require there. But it never really works out. We never have enough. Ultimately, we still never have enough, but you can make your money work for you even better than it is just by making money from business. So that's pretty much what it is. By engaging in additional sources of money generation other than your business.
Right. Okay, so I like this idea. So what you're basically saying is maybe I've started a business and I have some money coming in, so I can then take out of my profits and then put into something else that can also generate some profit. So let's break it down now. Okay. So I've gotten a specified amount, say 100,000 from a business that I'm doing, and this is like maybe residual income. So it's actually profit. So what can I do with this 100,000 in another business or in another to create another stream of income?
Stream of income, well, you know, it's going to be different for different people. 100,000 in your hands is probably going to be different from 100,000 in my hands because we have different lifestyles. We have different demands and pools on our income. But generally what you tend to do is you, first of all, I think the starting point is to find ways to reinvest in your business. You need to expand that business so that it goes from 100,000 to 150,000, 200,000, and so on and so forth. Then that extra money that you have to start thinking of, that's in the medium term. You have to start looking at additional ways in which you can bring in extra cash, like savings, for instance. The interest rates are not great for a savings account, but it also helps you to build the habit of saying, okay, you know what, I can put some money aside and I don't feel like I'm totally empty. The feeling of knowing that you have no sources of income anywhere can be very disastrous and demotivating for us.
Exactly.
So then after that, you also have, apart from the savings, there's a high yield savings account. Depending on which institutions, financial institutions or banks might have that. Then you can also think about investments, which give you even a higher interest, but now you're going into a risk area.
Exactly.
Areas where
because
risk,
I mean, again, as a small business, you're thinking, okay, so should I take this risk?
Exactly.
Any little risk, if it doesn't pay off, can
actually
ruin your business.
Yeah, you can.
So let's talk about investments.
Okay, there are lower risks, the investments that you can have. You can have things like mutual funds. Mutual funds is when you and I, maybe we don't have that much money to put as a massive investment so we can get good returns. But if I have your money, my money, and maybe the money of about 10, 20 people, you can invest in a mutual fund. Finance companies, finance houses actually sell mutual funds to people. So rather than have one person bring a huge sum of money, you can have 20 people bring the same amount but split amongst them.
So the mutual funds is sort of like something that you then do every month?
Well, you can have a one-time investment, or you can do it every month. That means you're buying different types of mutual funds. Because what tends to happen is that they have this maturity period. They can tell you a mutual fund is for 3 months, 6 months, or 2 years, a year. But many companies also, you don't want to tie up this money in long-term investments because you might need to liquidate at some point.
Exactly.
Turn it into cash so that you can use it for other things. So basically, we're looking at short to medium-term investments, not long-term.
Okay, so talk to us more about some of the short-term investments and then medium-term as well.
Okay, another thing you can look at is, apart from your mutual funds, you can maybe decide to go for IPOs. I'll explain what an IPO is. An IPO is like the stock market. For those people that really want, this is high risk though. People that want to go into the stock market can say an IPO is a company that it just wants to float on the stock exchange. They want to sell to the public. They're just starting. So normally these shares are cheap on the market. Relatively, depending on your pocket.
Exactly. So sometimes, like I know, for instance, that especially in Nigeria, sometimes, even internationally as well, so the IPO is high. And then it's low.
Depending on the popularity of the business.
Depending on the and then it could be 5 naira. And then suddenly maybe a few months after it then drops from that 5 naira to like 3 naira or something. So
yes,
that happens a lot.
It depends because well then again when you're investing there are many things you have to look at. There are indicators in the market that actually show you whether this company has the potential of making good money in the future for you or not. But then it can drop to 3 and maybe something happens. Maybe a new person is hired or something. And market news and it goes to 10.
Okay, so let's talk about educating yourself about these things because as a small business, sometimes I'm just bogged down with different things about my business and then I don't really know all the opportunities that are happening around me. How do I get educated about IPOs and mutual funds and things like that before then going to put my money in there?
Okay, not a lot of people can afford financial advisors, but the starting point is get a financial advisor. There are people out there that actually know about this stuff. But even for you, all this information is available on the internet. You can actually Google stuff. So, I mean, as a starting point, if you don't even know the terminologies or you don't know the names of these investments, you can go online and say, possible short-term investments I can invest in, or possible short-term investments. And it'll come up with a list, you would read it. You can hook up with a friend that understands the financial world a little bit and understands its terminologies and they can explain that to you. So really you don't have to spend that much big bucks. But if you really wanted to know the types of instruments, financial instruments, stock shares or portfolios that are good for you, you will probably need someone that is already in the game, financial advisors to help you to understand that.
Yeah, because I think that's really important and that's a good place to start.
Yeah, because they understand the market and they understand how these companies are performing.
And then they can advise you on what to do and what not to do.
That's
Thank you so much, Eric Gbadamos, for joining us this morning. So no matter what your business is or what you're doing, if you have some money coming in and you want to start increasing your sources of income, look for a financial advisor that can tell you some of the things that you can do. You'll be surprised what you find out there. All right, it's time for us to, I think we have funny videos coming up right now. All right, okay, so first we have moments from the recent color walk that held in Lagos. Now, Damilola Odolo was there and brings you this report.
Residents of Kayode Taiwo Zone in Magodo GRA of Lagos trooped out in their numbers on a Saturday morning. They all gathered to create awareness on the need to improve on the condition of the environment. The event, themed Easter Paint Splash, was organized by GoFort Foundation in conjunction with Kayode Taiwo Zone to commemorate the World Earth Day.
We're talking about the earth. Why do we need to plant trees? Why are we talking about global warming? Is it really a hoax? Why are we talking about climate change? Is it a hoax? Why do we need to plant grass as opposed to have everything in concrete? Grasses, trees, they purify the environment, they give us oxygen, makes us live longer. So it's a gamut of so many things that's helping us. But out of ignorance, a lot of us don't know.
From young to old, the residents held placards with messages that has to do with issues of the environment. The event saw residents of the community come all out to clean and beautify the environment as they had a color walk. Some of them were busy marking out their road lanes with paint. Even the kids were not left out. They joined in the activity.
Color is significant with children. Color is beauty. Color is light. Color radiates. So building up color with it is something that would attract not only children, actually, would attract anyone. So it's a form of beautification, it's a form of enlightenment.
The excitement itself has a kind of awareness that we have our environment to take care of. Okay, and they're also painting. They're being taught how to paint and to beautify the environment as well. And much more than that, having at the back of your mind that this is the responsibility of everybody, right from the youth. So all the children painting, aside from beautifying it, it's fun.
Art was infused into the event as they had an art exhibition. And children showcased their creative skills with drawings.
We know you can't go anywhere in the world and dump things on the street, but it tends to be a thing that we just do without thinking of it. And then also planting. It's good to plant, because once you plant, not only you are saving the environment, you are providing shade for people.
We can have this kind of activity within our estates, within our communities in Lagos and in Nigeria to really re-entrench our values and let our people, you can see that we have a lot of children over here within the community and outside the community, and we have the elderly ones also, so that we have the children that will imbibe those new values right now, and that we have the elderly ones that will change their old ways. So, and I think this is exactly what the NGO is doing, and I think we should really encourage this, and more NGOs should really do this, and I believe that the government should really support NGOs who are doing this awareness talk within the communities.
To the children, speak truth to power. Say word to silence. A lot of us keep silent where we should talk. So when you bring the awareness to it, they know about it, so they talk about it. So that's basically what it's all about in a creative manner. and it fosters the spirit of communal living, dignity of labor, and more importantly, volunteerism. We don't need to leave everything to government. Private initiatives, along with government initiatives, make a whole. But oftentimes, we leave everything to government. It shouldn't be.
Taking proper care of the environment we live in is very essential. This is a cause the Go Forth Foundation is known for and will be taken very seriously.